and decide and what they shouldn't keep. So it was kind of interesting. I got to learn a lot about real estate and being a realtor, and even though I was just an affiliate. So relationships, who would agree that relationships in real estate is the key to every transaction, right? That right there says everything, you guys. And when you are working with people that you have a true connection with in a real estate transaction, do you find it goes a little bit easier? Like having to, especially now having to negotiate your commissions, right? Putting part of your commission on the settlement statement, and your buyer, you're just going, no, I absolutely understand. And I see the value in that. And I'm so grateful you're helping me navigate this whole thing. Relationships are even more important today than they always have been important, but they are going to play a super key piece in this whole entire game that we like. I like to call it the relationship game, right? Because it's a lot and we want to make sure that we are creating them the right way. So there's a lot of places that we can create relationships.
Terri, right? Online, it's not switching. Your form didn't switch online.
So, okay, this isn't my computer, so how do I do these things?
We get joined.
I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, this isn't my thing. It was just up. Yeah, Isabel's just making a copy of the sign-in sheet because there was a lot more people and I'm so excited. Thank you for staying with me.
Can I go online, or can I go over the rules while she's helping you real quick?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That this is official. Okay.
Absolutely.
So really quickly, for those of you online, like Terri said, this is an hour-long class. You need to make sure that your first and last name are available for me in the chat. It can't be like iPhone 15 Sarah, whatever, because I won't know that's you. So I need first and last name. I have to see your video the entire time if you want credit for this CE class. Also, periodically, Terry's going to give 3 different keywords. If you miss those keywords, you do not ask each other. Don't ask in the chat. You need to ask me personally, because then I know for sure if you were here or not and you just didn't hear it. This is super important. At the very end, I will stick a Google document into the chat and you guys need to fill that out. I'll keep the Zoom on a little bit longer, but you need to fill that out, because if you click out of this Zoom, you will not have access to that form, and that's how you will get credit for this class, because I will send that to Terri. So super important. Okay, I think that's good.
Awesome. Thank you, Tana. And thank you for doing the Google form for the online class. Do you see the second slide that's popped up?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, perfect. I think we should be good now. Okay, so talking about connecting and creating relationships, where are some great places for you guys to create relationships at? Where have you created relationships in the past? Your street? Just right, neighborhood, right? Where else?
Workout classes.
Workout classes? Where else?
Schools.
Schools?
Church.
Church? Pardon? Volleyball? Oh yes, sports. Kid sports. You bond. It's trauma bonding with those parents and kid sports, man. I've been there. I had raised 2 girls that cheered and 1 boy that played every sports under the sun, so I get it. But you truly create those relationships, right? These are all these different places you can create relationships. Can you create those relationships on social media? You really can, right? And people will truly know whether you're being authentic or not. And that's the key to all of this, because when you're connecting with people doing things that you have in common. The workout classes, sports, church, your neighborhood, your community. You guys all have a common interest right there. And do you find it's easier to connect with people when you have a common interest?
Yep.
It's way easier to go ahead and do that. In social, it just opens up your whole entire world, you guys. When you're using it the correct way, it opens up your whole entire world to create even more relationships and to create even a deeper connection within those relationships, right? So how many of you are friends with your clients on social media? Okay. How many of you utilize social media to stay in touch with your clients, to keep up on their lives? You will know more about people if you just pay attention to what they're doing. How many of you have ever taken a class from Marky Lemon? She's a CRS instructor. She's an NAR instructor. Marky is amazing. I'll never forget. She came and she taught a class for us, and it was about social media. She's like, I can pinpoint it almost to the day when there is turmoil in a relationship. As soon as you find one of the partners, all of a sudden, they're at the gym all the time. They're taking a lot of selfies. They're looking really fine about themselves. She's like, I guarantee you there is trouble on the horizon. She's like, and I have not been wrong yet. And I went, huh, I'm going to have to keep a watch out for that and see what I think about that. And it's true. If you look about it, I'm like, oh, well, this is interesting. Okay. But you guys, if you just pay attention, and I'm not saying you have to spend a ton of time on social. Please don't. Set aside a certain amount of time, because by having your clients on your social, they still want to know you're human, right? How many of you are afraid to share on social too much? Right? We're worried. What's too much? You only have to share what you are comfortable sharing. You don't have to exploit your families. You don't have to exploit your animals. You don't have to exploit your kids. You don't have to do any of that. But you need to let people know you're human. That's always a good thing, because if it's just real estate this and real estate that and real estate this, are they going to continue to follow you? No, they're not. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, when is that? Where's this real person I did a transaction with, that was with me, that was in the car, that was going through all of these homes, right? Or who was guiding me through the sale of my home because it was so stressful and helping me pack boxes and stage. And that's the person they fell in love with in a way, right? And that's who they want to continue to see. So as you're creating more deep and meaningful relationships, think about how you actually met that person. And that's why it's so important, you guys, to stay connected on social. We don't have as much time as we would all like, right? To stay physically connected with people. Social makes it easy, you guys. It makes it great when you can utilize it.
I was gonna say, years ago, I put the 80-20 rule, or 80%. I'm still sure. It seems like I'm seeing more like 80% business, 20% personal. Like that, just kind of.
People don't like that because they want to see what's really going on in your life, because it's great to see all the great stage stuff, right? We look, everybody's, because that's what everybody's out there, right? Just producing what they think everybody wants to see. I'm still a firm believer in the 80-20 rule. I find it's been harder for me, especially stepping into the owner role at Ohana, just because Isabel does all of our social back there. Our Isabel Reese, she's our awesome sales and marketing genius. But I share so much, but Ohana is a big part of my life and who I am. So I have to be super conscientious about posting more personal things. Again, so I have to get back into it. But I love the 80-20 rule only because it brings more of that humanness to you. Or it doesn't even have to be business, right? It's whatever's lighting you up. It's sharing for your friends. It's, talking about sports, right? Who's got kids in sports that are raising money? Everybody. All you can do is help them by sharing, you guys. If you're just sharing their posts, that right there it's showing the personal side of you, and you're helping somebody along the way. But I love the 80-20 rule. Personally, I think that's the best way to do it. Everybody has a little bit of a different view on what it needs to be. And if you eat, breathe, live, sleep, drink real estate, that might be your all-consuming thing. And that truly is at your core, your personal world too. But just make sure you sprinkle a little more personal in there, and it's going to go a lot further. So that is for sure. But social, how many of you love to utilize your social for your CRM? Everybody? Oh, let's see here, maybe. So let me show you. Hold on. Sorry, I need to. Now it doesn't want to move. Joanne. Yeah, because now it's not. Oh, okay, that's moving. But it doesn't want to move. I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Did that move? Tana, did it move online? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't move, or it did?
Yes, it did.
Okay, perfect. All right. So talking about posting, what to post, what not to post. You guys, your CRM, how many of you pay for a CRM? You pay for a CRM too, right? Do you realize that social media is probably your biggest database that you have, and it's free? Who doesn't love something free, right? When it comes to doing your business, you guys, I know how much money you spend on your marketing every year. I get it. It is expensive to do this business and do it the right way. Your social media is a very free avenue for you guys to utilize, for you to use to continue to stay in touch with your clients, to make sure that they know about all of these amazing, you guys, Presidio does some of the coolest events. I love what you guys do in-person events for your clients. It's a big deal and they look forward to those. People think it's silly. Oh, it's just an Easter egg hunt. You know what? Their kids look forward to that dang Easter egg hunt every year and they talk about it, especially when they get a cool prize, right? They look forward to that Cowabunga Bay event. We did the Willy Wonka event with the Presidio South Valley team. Isabel and Kennedy were actually our Oompa Loompas for the photos. But that had such huge success. You guys, your clients just love to be remembered. It's the little things that you can do to let them know that. And when you're posting, you just have to be real with whatever it is. Because here's the deal. You guys are way more interesting than we give ourselves credit for. I know, I don't think I'm that interesting. I don't know if you guys have that problem. Like, I don't do anything interesting. Well, people are inspired by you all the time. Remember that. That one thing that you can share, that you can post, can inspire somebody that you have no idea, and it creates that trickle effect. You are interesting, right? Coming up with content. How many of you struggle with content? I do. I know Isabel's constantly asking me, she's like, what are we going to use? I'm like, I don't know. My brain hurts today. Can we think about this later, right? But you guys, your day is your content. You see some of the coolest stuff. You get to see some of the most interesting things all day long. The best piece of content you can have is when you're just sitting down at home, finally relaxing for the day.
That we've created over 800 pieces of content that we use.
Well, then apparently you should have one a day at least. You've got 800 pieces to choose from and there's 365 days in a year. You have zero excuse for content.
Years ago, when I first started real estate, I was showing a house. I was waiting for people to come in, but someone had left their dog out and the dog would not let me through the door. And I didn't even think like this could be really interesting for people. I just was like, oh, my friend was an agent as well, and I just said, hey, the dog won't let me in the door. I can't get a hold of the other agent. What do I do? And we ended up not being able to show, but I went back and I videoed the dog barking at me and not letting me in the door. Like, I got so many comments. The things that you don't think are interesting might be interesting to other people in situations like that. But
Absolutely. Yeah, it does. In situations like that, right? It's all of the strange little things that you don't think that's going to be interesting or that it's going to bring content out that people are like, oh my gosh, they can relate to you. And I know you have to be really careful when you're posting any type of content. Make sure you have the listing agent's approval so we don't talk disparagingly about their home. Did I get it right?
Yep.
They've trained me well. What can I say? But at the same time, you guys, that can create, and it's real. You guys, this is the day in the life of real estate when you can't get in the house, you know, and you've got this dog coming out. You're like, okay, that's fine.
it was like this big too, and it was like.
That's awesome. See, but those types. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not today. My ankles are surviving. But that's content, you guys. Your life is content. You are interesting. You are amazing. And you have 800 pieces at your disposal if you can't think of anything. You have a lot to choose from. The biggest thing is putting something out there that resonates with you. I've always been a huge quote girl, always. And I always love to share quotes, and I share the quotes that light me up or that I needed. If y'all just ever had a day when you're like, oh, today is hard, right? We've all had those days. But you see something and you're like, oh, I needed that today. Those are the things that I choose to share on my socials, because if it inspired me, I hope it will inspire somebody else. It made me feel great about my day or what I needed to hear, and I want to continue to share that on. Or it's going to make somebody laugh. If it made you laugh, share it, you guys. Couldn't we use more humor in this world? We've got a lot of heavy right now. I mean, we just listen to a lot of it. There's a lot of heavy, you guys. If you can share something that's going to make somebody laugh and smile and actually connect with you a little bit more, isn't that what we're after? right? That's what the relationship that we're after. Do people pay attention to your social?
Yes.
Yeah. You guys, people are stalkers. I'm just saying. They are sneaky McSneakersons and they are stalkers. And I guarantee you, before you've had an actual sit down with a potential client for a listing or a buyer's consult, they have already Googled you. They have stalked you. They have looked at your Instagram page. They have looked at your Facebook pages. They have looked at your brokerage. They have looked at your LinkedIn. They have stalked you. So they already know and have a preconceived notion if they're going to get along with you or not. That's something that they have already decided. So yes, even though you're not getting all the thumbs up and all the hearts and all the things and all the land and all of your posts, people pay attention. We Iz taught a class last week in our office. It was a social media class, and there was a comment that was made. He's like, well, what do you mean? You just like scroll past somebody's post and you don't show them any love?
The story. He's like, I have to heart every story that I view. He's like, I just feel like a creep and I'm just lurking in front. Like, Dad, that's not normal. Like, you can look at a person's like story and not react or comment or anything. And he's like, I always do. And so we're like, wow, people probably love you then because you're like their biggest fan.
You are their biggest.
You're always giving them the love.
Exactly, because that's what they are though. Like you have plenty of people lurking, you guys. So many lurkers out there.
I was gonna say, I'm on Instagram, but I know that that's for younger generation. So my daughter tells me Facebook's for the old people.
Of course, yes, always.
Her 16, 17-year-old friends are constantly partying whenever I post about like showing here. They're commenting and they're partying. And I'm like, they're 16 and 17 years old. So I love that they're seeing it and they're seeing it.
Well, and because they're going, this is so cool. Look what your mom does. Like your mom is pretty freaking amazing. And that's what's awesome is when you're getting support from people like that, you guys, you have no idea how much influence the younger generation they need, and they have. We all love to joke about the influencers, right? But they've got a lot of power.
Another good form of social media that is super easy to do and you don't have to put any thought into it is Be Real. And that's what like a ton of, like I have a lot of followers on Be Real now. And I can post like in front of the house and I don't even have to say anything. I can post like just a snap picture. And there's no content or anything.
Right.
I don't have to talk about it or like think of a way to be creative. That you can like just take a quick picture and it's showing like I'm still in real estate. Oh, I'm out showing a house or I'm doing, you know, like, and you build a relationship and you comment on people's stuff and all that. So.
See, and that's awesome. We actually, I've just recently learned about the whole Be Real thing, and it reminds me a lot of what Instagram once was way back when it started, right? Well, it was just a simple photo upload type thing. So that's awesome. I'm grateful to see. So because I know a lot of like the young ones are using the whole Be Real thing. So you're seeing more of a different.
That's why I started. So I follow my daughter.
Hey, that's how we all start in social, so we can follow our kids around.
But it definitely like there's lots of adults on it, lots of moms on it, and dads. Like there's a lot of people on it, and so it's made me be able to connect with my daughter's friends and like young women in my class and stuff like that. Like,
Very nice.
I've been able to like see what's going on in their lives, and but I don't know. It is a different model than Instagram for sure.
Yep. Interesting.
Way more personal and more intimate than Instagram.
Yep, I did know that too. So that's awesome. I love that that's, you know, one more platform because relationships, you guys, they do take time to build. They
Well,
take.
yeah, they delete after, but you don't send them private. It's not like Snapchat. So you post your picture and then after Be Real goes off once a day at random times. So it could go off.
Oh, so it gives you a
could go off, like,
notification and
right
wants you to
now,
be
and I
real.
would say, oh, it's time to be, you'll hear people say, oh, it's time to be real. You have 2 minutes to take the picture.
Oh,
Be real on time. You can take it later on if you miss that, but if you take it on time, then you get 2 bonus pictures.
oh, so it's rewarding you for paying attention to your.
So if you.
Your
if you
timer,
take
okay.
it- Yeah, so you're obviously you're being real more when you take it on time because it's showing what you're doing at that moment instead of choosing a time. But
Okay.
then it allows you 2 times later. So if I'm gonna be showing houses later, I'm gonna take my Be Real on time so I can show the house later.
Oh.
And then once the B-roll goes off again, the next day, goes the day before deletes.
Okay, so you're 20, it's like a story situation.
Yep.
So it's like an Insta story. It's like Instagram stories and Facebook stories,
Yeah.
which by the way, on socials, that's also a super huge way. You guys need to be, people do watch more stories because they're at the top of their feed and they see them. And usually there's just more movement with them. And do you know how long our attention span is, just out of curiosity?
10 seconds.
5 seconds. 3 seconds. 5 seconds. 4 seconds.
We're like 2.8 seconds, you guys. The attention span of a goldfish is 3.2 seconds. Our attention span is less than that of a goldfish. I just want you to keep that in mind. So I love, so like the Be Real thing, just like she was saying, it's a great space for you to completely authenticate yourself, you guys. It's you. I'm real. I'm right here. Lord help me, but this is what I got going on right now. You know, send help. Help is on the way. Anything, right? But that's part of being authentic and creating those relationships. Even when you're showing up in person for somebody, it is important because relationships take time, you guys. They really do. Building a true relationship and a client base based on relationships versus a client base on transactions, it takes more time. But in the end, what's going to yield more results? The relationships. Where are you going to get more referrals from if you're actually taking the time to get to know people? From all of your past clients and your SOI, right? That's what you want to do, you guys. You get to prove yourself. We have to create trust. And trust is hard and it's fragile, right? But when people decide to work with you, why? Why do people decide to work with you? There's 3 things, actually 4, right? Yeah, they know you, they like you, they trust you. Now, if you can bring them some sort of value, are they going to want to work with you even more? Absolutely. And value can be anything, you guys. It could be, hey, just a reminder in your neighborhood, the dumpster's going to be there. Don't forget to throw all your old stuff out. How many people would love that reminder? I would, because I always forgot that. And then next thing I know, everybody's setting stuff out on their curb and I'm like, oh, I guess it was that time. I guess I need to pay more attention, right? But if I had somebody to come in and say, hey guys, just so you know, in your neighborhood this week, it's spring cleanup. The dumpsters are going to be out this day because, the city tells you, but do they do a great job of sending you something fancy to remind you of anything? No. So what a great thing for you to do. It's just community, but it's adding value in that way. And anytime you're actually showing up for them true and authentically, is that when that trust can really be created, right? So first code word real quick is have, Tana, have. You guys don't need to worry about code words here. It's just for the people on the Zoom. So have.
HAVE.
Have, yep, HAVE.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, we've talked, social in relationships is really where it's at, you guys. Just remember all the nice things, right? Be nice. Nobody needs to start a Facebook fight. I mean, even though we want to sometimes, right? We all need to prove ourselves to be right. Just don't. It doesn't end well for anybody. It sheds a bad light on everybody. Be genuine in your interactions. If something you see lights you up, share it. The greatest gift on social is for you to share their post. It truly is. Be genuine. If you love that, let them know. Instead of just leaving a thumbs up, giving it a heart, sending some clapping, comment on it. Actually engage.
But it's easier just to do that and go away from it.
Okay, Mr. Antisocial, that's not the reason for social.
Okay.
It's better than just like lurking. So there's.
Yeah, it is better than lurking. But there's my Isabel. She's like, it's okay, Steve, you're fine. I love it. But you guys, and it's better than just being a lurker. But you guys, here's the deal too, is when you're commenting on things, the more stuff you comment on is the more stuff you're going to see in your feed. How many of your clients have you not seen anything from them in your feed for so long? Why do you think that is? Is it maybe because you've just scrolled right past their stuff? Or maybe because they haven't been posting, right? Exactly. But that's a great time for you to then go, oh, when you're sitting down to do your SOI work, I haven't heard, from Sally in quite some time. Pull her up on the Facebook and then comment on her.
Well, the algorithm gives a
attention too, like if you're engaging with certain pages, and I mean it, from what I've seen and heard, it does remember that, so it's gonna push more of that content towards you.
Yep.
So like if you're just scrolling past your client stuff, then it might start learning that and then not showing you their stuff as much. And a side note too, on Instagram, you can actually, I don't know if you've ever seen at the top on your, like, just the home page, you can actually add people to a favorites tab. It's just like at the very top. I can show you guys if you want, like
Yep.
after class or something, but you can add specific people. If there's people that you want to stay in touch with, you can add like your SOIs there. And then it's just a page you can flip to that you're just gonna see those specific people's content. So that's just like a little side note.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great way for you guys to stay, right? And so you can interact genuinely with all of your people, right? But go for some interaction. I challenge you. Don't just give us a thumbs up or a heart. Show some interactions, show some love out there. You guys, social media was initially created to make friends. It was created for you to make some friends out there, and you can. You can make friends on social media. You absolutely can. Figure out where your people are on there. You guys, there's billions and millions of groups. What lights you up? What sets your soul on fire? Become a part of those groups. Engage with people who are like-minded like you are. Does it help you guys in negotiations when you actually know the agent on the other end of your transaction? How helpful is that for you?
Sometimes.
It can go either way, right? But it's good because you do know and you have an idea, especially if it's an agent that you guys have worked with and you're like, oh, please, Lord, why, right? Why are we doing this again? Or there's one, you have multiple offer situation and you're looking at the agents and you're going, oh my gosh, I've worked with 3 of these and they've been incredible to work with. I know no matter which offer we choose, it's going to be a great transaction because they're a true professional. So think about that. Not only to stay in touch with your clients, you guys, but get out there and connect with the other agents in your industry too. And, Presidio has a lot of great things for you guys to stay in touch to. And you have a lot of great leadership here. How many of you are involved in your local boards? Anybody? Y'all got to get involved. I'm telling you right now. I was roped in and so I'm Salt Lake County Board, but I can't say I was roped in. When I got my escrow license, I had my sales manager at the time come to me and say, so do you want to be a member of the board? I'm like, okay, what does that mean? I didn't even know what that meant. But she's like, well, this is what you're going to do. I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, but if you're going to be a member, you need to get involved. So as an affiliate, I'm an affiliate member. She's like, but you have to get involved and you have to be on a committee. I said, great, I can be on a committee. What does that mean? I've never done that a day in my life. And so started my journey of board committee involvement. But that was way back in, I want to say it was 2010, 2009, 8. I don't even remember. It was forever ago. It was a long time ago, but that started me on a path to where I stayed involved as an affiliate member. But I just connected with so many different realtor friends. And it was one of the best ways. And I noticed I met so many different realtors that all love to do committees together because that was something that they could truly, truly bond over. So if you're not getting out in that way, side note, get out in your board and start meeting some agents too. Because the ones that you show up to the board are the ones that are doing the business. The ones that are involved are the ones that are really doing the business too. So make sure. So social media, we've talked about this though. How many of you are doing reels? You guys using reels? Reels are fun. We have Isabel teaches a great reels workshop. We can get into that another time. Stories, you guys, stories are easy. That's like the be real, right? Your story is just your story. It's just here, it's here, it's here. And you can add and it can go forever. So it's not just like a one-time thing, but it's you can go forever type thing. If you're going to stick to hard posts on Instagram, you need to make sure you have more than one photo. Have at least 3. It's called a carousel post because it will keep refeeding back to the top. So all of your followers will see that type of stuff. So instead of posting 1 photo, post 3 if you're going to do a specific post about something. But you guys, it's a great space for you just to showcase whatever it is going on in your day. Social is important for sure. Okay. Maybe. Oh, look at this. I'm moving all the things. I don't know what happened here. That's a weird, my slide is not all the way. I wish I could see that. Okay. The relationship that you guys have, that authentic relationship that you guys create with people, no matter who they are, they're your SOI, right? They're either your SOI. What about new people? Where's your favorite place to meet new clients at, besides all the things we've talked about? Have you ever ran into anybody in the grocery store? Have you ever created a friend in the grocery store? Do you wear your name tags? Well, you avoid everybody.
Like the people that anyone wants to see you, you show up.
You show up all the time.
In the grocery store.
I mean, I see his wife at the gym at least once a week in our little class, so it's
He's very
perfect.
genuine though. He stays true to him.
Yeah. Do you guys, do y'all wear your name tags out and about? Yep, you always wear your name tag out and about. That's a great thing because people will stop and talk to you. They see a name tag and they ask questions, and sometimes you're like, why are you talking to me? It's kind of freaky, right? It's kind of creepy. But at the same time, you guys, it's a great way for you just to continue to show up for people. Having deeper connections within your relationships, though, that's where all the magic truly happens. When you know what's going on with them, right? Like your home sales. How many of you do closing gifts? How many of you do follow-ups after closing? How frequently? What's your frequency?
When I'm in the area.
When you're in the area?
Can I do mine?
Pardon?
So
Oh,
I
hello.
do mine 1 week after closing, just to make sure that they're settled in and just to see how things are going. At that time, I do send them a thank you card with some gift cards in them to purchase like dinner, because obviously we know how bad it is trying to move into a new house and be able to get everything settled and dealing with kids if they have kids or dogs or whatever the case may be with them. And then I always do a 1 month, a 3 month, a 6 month, and a 12 month.
And a 12-month, and then after a year, how often do you follow up after that?
Just with the client appreciations, I keep in touch with them on those and then follow up once a year after.
Follow up once a year after that. So you're constantly commemorating the milestones of their home purchase.
Yep. And then a lot of the times I just let them know if they have any questions to always reach out to me. I mean, I've had people that have closed like 3 years ago. They're now reaching out to me for things like, oh, I need an electrician. I'm looking to do some lights. And so I give them an electrician number, or people that have already hitting that close to that 1 year mark of their home warranty, letting them know that they can always talk to their home warranty company about extensions. I think that's super important, especially with pre-existing. And then, or if they have problems with filing a claim with their home warranty, they've reached out to me before where I've been able to get in contact with somebody that can actually help them rather than having them wait months out.
See, and that's awesome. That right there, you guys, I mean, it seems like it's a lot, but it's not if you have your systems in place. How many of you have a really good campaign or different CRM or reminder system set in place where you can continually stay in touch with your SOI? Does it freak you out? Did you just get sweaty armpits thinking about, oh my God, that sounds like so much work to do? But you guys, it's really not. Do you, I'm sorry, I can't see who you are online, but do you have an automated, is it automated within your CRM that pops up these reminders for your clients? Do you set them up on that time frame once you've plugged them into your CRM after you've closed?
So I do have the automated one where we can do the CRM, but I also in my calendar, the day that they close, I'll put like Luskin closing, and then I set it for a year out, and I make sure to send them crumble cookies on their 1 year. So it's just something that I just do that I've always done, and so they love it. They're like, oh my God, thank you, and they'll even post the cookies and everything.
Oh, I love that. You guys, how about that? How easy is that to stay in touch after 1 year to commemorate a milestone, right? That is so easy. You have the closing in your calendar anyways. Why not set it as an annual recurring reminder?
At the day of closing, I have like a whole postcard series for about 18 months. And I
Okay.
just address them all, get them all in my file, and I just mail them out for 18 months. That's part of it. But
That's
it's
awesome.
easy if you do it all when you're getting ready for closing.
Oh, absolutely. It's done. Exactly. And then all you have to do is hit go, right? If there's anything that you could just have to hit go on, does that make your life easier? I want stuff I can just hit go on. I mean, Isabel, I know wants stuff she can just hit go on because she does so much to help us stay on track here. But you guys, commemorating all those little milestones along the way and providing that constant value, right? It is all of those little things that really make the big difference. And speaking of more, our second code word for you all friends online is more, M-O-R-E. It's your second code word. Okay. I'm trying to remember, what time did we start?
10:45.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So as you're going through and you're commemorating all of those milestones, it's a great time for you guys to show up for them. Offer a little bit more value. You know, they're going through their home. When you're sending, I love seeing all the reminders. Like I love seeing all the stuff that gets put out right now, talking about the spring cleanup. Maybe it's just me because I don't even think about it until it's too late, honestly, till the big old tractors are coming to pick it up, the stuff on the side of the road. That's when I think about it. So that's why I always go back to that. But I've known people that they actually rent dumpsters in their farm neighborhoods. They rent the dumpsters for the weekend and then they invite the neighbors to come. What a great way, you guys, to get in touch with your farm zone and to say, hey, just so you know, we've got this awesome dumpster right here. We're going to leave it for the weekend for you guys. Please feel free, come and do it. And as you're out there and when you're door knocking on that area and you're meeting with all of those neighbors, it's a great time for you to provide just a little bit of value to them, right? Hey, you're giving them a space to throw their junk away. Who loves to throw things away? This is the best feeling in the world. It gives them space that they can actually do that, which is so awesome. But you're also meeting new friends, you guys. You're making more friends. You're meeting new people. And now, if it's a new farm area, it's a really great way for you to start. How many of you have a designated farm area? How well do you know your farm area? Pretty well. So you know all the community happenings all the time. All the community happenings, and you're letting your farm area know about those community happenings too. Because like I said, the cities, you know, and the governments try to do a great job, but sometimes they use really boring paper and font. Nobody pays attention, just so you know. But when you get something better, you're like, oh, that's right, that is this weekend. I want to go do that. So think about it. And you just really have to keep showing up. It's exhausting sometimes, right? Who would, you know, say that it's exhausting sometimes to continue to show up, right? And be on for your clients. But it's worth it, you guys. And it's okay if you need to retreat for a second and take a step back and be like, I need to breathe over here for a minute so I can give the best of me that I can. That's what you get to do, and that's okay too. Don't ever be afraid just to step back for a minute and be like, whew, we're just going to breathe about it. Let's breathe about it, and then we can go ahead and we can put our best foot forward, our best authentic self forward. As you are continuing to show up, where do you find that you get caught up? In your relationships, when you're creating all these business relationships, personal relationships, do you ever find yourself on autopilot with your SOI and just think, oh, they'll remember me. Oh, they'll remember me. And then how many of you have seen them sell their house with somebody else? Stings a little bit, doesn't it? It's like, gosh, dang it. What could I have done better? How many of you reach out to them and say, I just noticed you sold your house. I just wanted to congratulate you on that. And they ask you, oh, we didn't know you were still in real estate. How many of you have heard that? Right? And that's where you want to make sure that you're continuing to show up for them, you guys, no matter what it looks like. However, you can land in their email, in their text messages, or in their social media thread, land there. You have 800 pieces of content to use. Use them, please. You are a very interesting human. You know so much. You have so much value to give. You're a professional. Offer them value. How many of you remind them that they're getting a tax notice and they don't have to pay it? Right? I know there's a lot of people, especially your first-time home buyers, they get that tax notice and they freak out. They're like, oh, what do you mean I have to come up with all this money? No, no, no. Remember that cool little side savings account we talked about? It's going to take care of it. But it's a great time for you to reach out and see what the value of their home has done, right? And you have a good pulse on it. We know what's going on out there, or kind of, we do know what's going on. I mean, it seems to have been all over the place this year, but we have an idea of what's going on out there. It's a great time for you to reach out because you're adding value. Obviously, they know you, they like you, they trust you, they've purchased a home with you, they've sold a home with you. By you continuing to add these little nuggets to them, they're going to refer you, you guys. How many of you, when you call your SOI, do you ask for referrals? Why is it so hard to ask for a referral?
It makes you feel ungenuine, so like, yes. I feel like, oh, no, I'm not calling you to try to get business, I'm just genuinely interested. Oh, but you know someone who's by or something, like, it just takes away the genuineness of it.
Okay, so could you have a separate conversation with them that says, hey, you know what? I loved working with you. Do you know anybody that I would work well with?
Past clients, yeah, that's fine, but my other SOI, I don't.
Why not?
The genuineness.
The genuineness? Well, you could still have a genuine conversation with them at another time, right?
Oh, right, but they're not gonna keep picking up the phone calls. They're just asking for referrals.
Right, but that's why you have all the genuine ones with them, right? And you can go a little bit deeper with them to say, you know, I love,
People already know that.
no, they don't.
Like, don't they
It-
know that you want business, like, want them to refer you, you know, like, I feel like most of my SOI knows me well enough that I talk enough real estate without having to say, hey, do you have anybody, you know?
Generally speaking, no, they don't. Because they don't think about it unless the seed has been planted. Your hand was going up like crazy.
This is just my personal view on it, but I have so much going on in my life sometimes, you know, it's like the tornado, right? And there's like all these things that we're doing in our lives. And it's the things you think people know, but sometimes they're so focused and caught up on what's going on in their own life and their own work and everything that like it just spaces their mind. So I don't know, I speak from experience. Like there's sometimes where I just forget there's people in my life that do certain things, even if they're posting about it, I miss it. And but I feel the same way. Like I definitely like that's how my brain thinks. It's like, oh, don't people know that I want to work with them? But people do, they just get caught up in living their life and working. It just floats out.
What do you got?
So it's called TOMA, top of mind advertising. And if you're not constantly top of mind, as soon as something else happens, then they'll just do that because it's top of mind. I had a farm that I did that when I started, I went 400 all the way up to 1,200 over, I don't know, 10 years. And I mean, it hurts, it stings when you don't get something, when you've got these communication. Like I went showcased the freaking house and I still didn't get it. They went to somebody else who was cheaper than me that didn't have a conversation with me and everything. And so, I mean, that's off topic. But the marketing piece and talking to people, it's when I did stuff, all my newsletters and everything was 90%, everything else at 10% real estate. I had a referral form on the back page that they could fill out and send to me. And so, and everything that I did in the farming, and I made over $100,000 farming just from that thing. Yeah, and I wrote the program for Remax for farming and went top of class and everything. And people will absolutely, just because you're a realtor and everything, doesn't mean they're gonna do it. They might use the uncle, the cousin, whatever, or who just happens to be in the model home that they walked in, and you're just out of luck. So top of mind advertising is key in staying connected. So if it's me, I'm marketing them through my my real estate business page. I'm marketing them all the time with that. And then my social page that I have separately is all about family and them to get to know me and love me and all that kind of stuff. So I keep it separate. And then if I have to talk to them, I say, hey, let's talk business real quick. After I'm done saying how you doing and how all this other stuff. And they're like, okay, so their mindset says we're switching to business. You know, the social stuff's over. And so I'm saying, hey, I just listed this home, blah, blah, blah. If you happen to know anybody, I'd love to, you know, blah, blah, and you go that route. But it's taught that way on purpose because people assume that all their friends know what they do. And if it's not top of mind, you're not gonna be able to get the business.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's no different than like we're setting up here right now. It's no different than saying whatever, sales rep walks into your office and they're just really nice and you love talking to them. But if they've never once asked you for business, are you going to send them a deal? Probably not. Because unless you can physically ask for the business, and it's the hardest thing on the planet because I want to be friends with everybody, right? And we want all of us to be friends and we don't want to sell anybody because do we like to be sold to? We're the worst, right? We hate to be sold to. But at the same time, we are offering an incredible service. You're offering an incredible service to them. And just by strictly saying, hey, and make phone calls that are genuine, that have nothing to do with, hey, I just thought of you today, checking in. How are you doing? You don't have to ask for a referral at that point, whatever, because most of the time real estate will gradually come into the conversation anyway. Oh, I heard about this weird lawsuit. What's going on with that? And at that point you're like, well, you know, it's early. However, you guys have been, you know, directed to respond to something like that. But then there is, just like Steve said, there is that conversation that you have to where it's, you know what, you guys, I'm working on my business hard this year. I loved working with you. Do you have any friends or family that would work well with me that you know that are thinking to buy or sell real estate this year? And that right there, because people want to help you. I'm working towards a specific goal this year. Is there anything you can do to help me?
So this was quite a few years ago, but I shared with some clients how I had a goal to pay off a major amount of debt that our family was carrying. And this does get personal, like you don't want to, you know, necessarily share that, but I felt like I was comfortable enough with that and they knew me well enough. And it was, I mean, this was a lesson I had to learn personally, maybe all of us have to, but throughout that transaction, I was so humbled by how they never forgot that. And at the closing table, she was like, Kimberly, you can take your commission and go meet your goal. And then I talked to her years later, she's still remembering that she helped me reach that goal. And so that really what helped me realize like, oh, okay, they are okay with it. You know, like if you let them know something that you're trying to do, that people genuinely are okay with helping you do that.
Their help, it's great. It works. I did this, I mean, over the years, right? It's like, you know what, guys, you're making phone calls, just like you guys have to either make cold calls or you're reaching out to your SY, whatever that looks like, contacting friends that maybe we haven't seen an order from in a long time. You know what, guys, we're trying so hard to hit our order goal this month. I'm 4 away. Do you have a listing that we can open for you? Do you have an under contract that you're working on right now that we can get your next deal from you? How can I earn that business? How can I work with you? And that's just, they're like, oh, are you gonna hit your goal? You know, and people in general, we love to help people, you guys. You want to help other people and see them succeed because it's fun. Who doesn't love helping? It makes you smile, right? It's fun. That's your last code word, by the way, is fun. F-U-N.
I was just gonna say, this happened like a few weeks ago.
Did you say it again?
Fun, F-U-N.
It's not in the forefront of their mind always because they're so focused.
Thank you.
You know, as humans, we're focused on ourselves. And I had a client that I was just talking to them and I asked them, you know, do you guys have any friends, family, or coworkers that are looking to purchase or refinance? And my client was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't even thinking. My coworker literally was just talking in the office how she is looking to purchase a home. And I didn't even think of you. And I ended up taking her application that day.
See, that's awesome.
So you don't even realize because they're so focused on themselves and they don't even think of someone. And
Well, as soon as you drop it in their mind, right, then you start listening for that. How many of you have ever belonged to BNI, a networking group? Yeah, givers gain, right? You're out there literally searching for referrals for other humans. And it's almost like you're trained to listen to help other people. So by helping educate your clients on that, if when they're hearing that somebody might be interested or they're buying or selling or they're interested in it, it's a great way for you guys to train them to say, hey, if you know of anybody that is interested in that, please refer them my way. I would love more than anything to help your clients, your families, your friends, because you were so amazing to work with. I would love to work with people more like you. And that also makes them feel good. And it's true because are you going to reach out to somebody and ask for their referrals if you hated working with them? No. Why would we, right? if you do get to that point and you're just not fun anymore, refer it out, you guys. Refer it to somebody who you know they're gonna work well with. Collect a referral fee, give them a great experience so everybody's happy in the end. Sometimes that's the easiest way to do it. So in the end, relationships are hard. They're messy, they're fun, they're invigorating, they're inspiring. They are always, always, always evolving, whether they're business relationships, whether they're personal relationships. In the big wide world of real estate, they commingle all the time. Be okay with it. When you're showing up socially, how you show up on social, make sure you show up like that in real life. I had, I just wanted to share a real quick story about showing up authentically. This actually happened yesterday. It was a file that I was working on, and the lender in the transaction didn't do what he said he was going to do for these first-time home buyers. First-time home buyers were beside themselves at my closing table. It sucked. I hated it. It made me so mad. And there's not a lot. And they're like, well, there's not much we can do about it now. It is what it is, right? And so I thought, I think I know this person. And so I went and did a little stalking. There was no liking or anything. I held my tongue. I did not say a word. I wanted to, but I did not say mean things. And I was reading through some of his social posts, and I went, oh my gosh, you don't have any right to post anything like this with how you just treated these poor people. So just a reminder, show up in life authentically, how you show up on social, because people pay attention and they know. Keep it real, keep it genuine. You guys, creating relationships is a contact sport, but it's so much fun and there's so much to be gained by it. So get out there and do it. Make sure you're creating everything real, authentically, and you'll just have more and more clients following to you all the time. We're here to help in any way we can, always. We're here to cheer. We're here to help you. If you guys have questions on farm zones, we've got all kinds of different classes that we offer. Isabel is an incredible social media guru, and she will be happy to sit down with you at any time too. We've got some awesome lunch offered right here by the incredible Keystone Construction. She's got us some lunch back there, but I'm going to invite her up to say a few words real quick, and then we'll be done with you.
So are you asking for our business or not?
Well, of course I'm asking for your business all day long, my friends. I would love an opportunity to work with all of you. That is for sure. Now that the class, I can actually ask for business, but during the class, I'll get my license revoked. That'd be bad. Come on down. I am.